Heart sprinkle.
Hey everyone, it's Krystle and I'm back with a new project. When I was healing after having the baby, I saw these wooden mushrooms and thought of my bears. So now I'm going to start another project. It's a 100-piece project and they're all going to be just my bears using the mushroom as the base and this epoxy sculpt for the details. Comment down below if you guys have any themes you'd like to see my bears in, but of course I'm going to start with my main bears that I've already made so far, and the first one up is Sugar Cube. Now epoxy clay is sticky, so you have to let it sit before you use it, and use these gloves like I'm using. Here I am tapping away forever, taking so long. It's been so long since I've used any clay or sculpted in general, so bear with me here. The hardest part for me was his hair, and since it's my first bear, I had to figure out the proportions of the ear and the arms. I did have to build up on both things, but this is how he turned out, and he looks really good with that gesso on. He looks clean. I first made Sugar Cube in 2012 or 2013, and he actually was teal, but I ended up just making him this pretty blue color, and his characteristics or personality is based off of the fun and spunky side of both me and Bella. I was able to use a pencil to map out how I want to design him, but I did start off using this paint pen for the line art I was trying to do, and it was not working out, so I had to switch back to my paint and paintbrush. I'm going for the 2D doodle look, and I'm kind of struggling, but it's okay. It's been a while. I do give my wonky eye to my bears. When you take pictures of me, I have one eye bigger than the other, and that's why I put them on my bears to poke fun at myself. But yeah, that's why they'll always have that. And then I've made Sugar Cube before using the vinyl Kid Robot money doll, so you'll see that later on, a side-by-side comparison, and I did make him the doodle style as well. Sometimes I go crazy with my scribbly bits, but I love them. I think it just brings my style together, and then especially with the highlights, the juicy highlights, it just adds on to it. I love it. So when I was glazing this bad boy, I couldn't decide if I wanted a matte finish or a glossy finish. Let me know your opinion about that in the comments, which ones you guys like. I'm gonna try a matte finish next time to see how it look and see which ones I like more. I last minute decided to add some shadows to him. Now I normally don't draw my characters with shading because when you print it, sometimes it gets all grainy and weird, and that's why I refused for the longest time to do it. But now I'm just gonna start shading with a solid color, so it's two solid colors next to each other. So since I did that last minute, I had to redraw all the lines, but it was all worth it because Sugar Cube ended up looking really cute. And then on the back side, I just kind of added my scribbly bits there. I'm also adding highlights to his eyes. Sorry about the blurriness. I'm still figuring out my camera and the settings and the position of my hands and everything so you guys can see. But this is what he looks like without anything. And then I am putting the glossy finish on him, and then you guys will see how he looks next to the bigger Sugar Cube figure that I have. There they are. Isn't he cute? I think it looks really good. I'm happy with how he turned out. So the next bear I am working on is Gumdrop. This is Sugar Cube's girlfriend. She existed a long time ago, but I didn't introduce her till 2023, and her hair is much easier to make compared to Sugar Cube. But that bow though, it's heavily inspired by Hello Kitty over there. I was sculpting this and I was dreading making the bow. I'm why did I give her such a complicated bow? I kind of wanted the bow to look like my own, with the heart shape there, but also kind of look like Hello Kitty's. But yeah, it turned out okay. This is how she looks, and this is how she looks with the gesso. The gesso really makes them look clean. I really like it. So many layers of paint went into this, especially that bow Like, for some reason, it took like 10 layers of paint because it was like transparent. Anywho, since I added the shading on Sugar Cube and figured that out, I added it on her and made potato skins under her eyes. Yeah, I'm not really liking that. She's looking like me currently with the lack of sleep after having the baby. Anyway, don't worry, I end up taking those off later. Here's how she's looking with just the shading. I really think it looks cool. I did have to imagine the lines there, but all good. I think it worked out just fine. So here I am doing a little better with the line art. I feel like the more you do things like your craft, the better you are. But also my hand is getting a little bit more steady, except for making her look all angry at this point. But it's okay because I can still fix it. The little button eyes kind of like are annoying because if I just go over too much or if I'm under too little amount of, you know, the space of the eyeball, it looks weird. So I have to like paint it almost perfectly for it to look right. But yeah, back to the scribbly bits all over the place. I try not to overdo it, but really sometimes I do. And I have to erase some. The hard part here too was the bow because it's just hard to make a 3D object look 2D. Like it looks harder. It's actually harder to do than what it sounds like. Anyway, the scribbly bits everywhere, just I feel like it just brings the line art together. And the fact that I'm doing the figure with the shading now, I think it looks so much better with shading. And now the new thing with the highlights, gotta have the juicy highlights. I'm getting rid of those potato skins off the bottom of her eyelids there. Yeah, so the highlights some more. Don't overdo it, Krystle. This is how she looks with her potato skins. No, I'm just kidding. I did take those off here. This is how she looks without them. I like them much better. And then I just did a quick finish with the glossy glaze on her. And this is how she turned out. I think it looks really good. My line work and everything looks much better than the first attempt, but it's okay. We're improving. The last bear I'm working on is Justin Bieber. Now, you guys enjoy some of these sound effects I added. Literally, I kind of overdid it, but I won't be doing that to all my videos. I just felt like I just was tapping, squish, squish, like for hours. And then sometimes it would stick on my glove like that. Anyway, I was more confident in making Justin Bieber. The challenging part for him was these wings. I kind of had to figure out like how to even get it on there. I ended up just sculpting that off screen so you guys could bear with me in this video here while I also try to stick this heart on his wings because I almost forgot. And the other obstacle I had was his antennas. I had to figure out how, you know, to put an armature under there just so they stay. Now the bear ears I feel like would stay well because the type of clay it is, it's kind of like a glue as well, so it sticks onto things and itself very well. It's just things like this, like a little stick that needs to, you know, have better a skeleton underneath. Anyway, I had to undo it. I tried doing it with the clay already on there just to make it easier, but it did not work. So I'm just struggling trying to put this armature on, getting glue everywhere too. Anyway, I can't remember if I said anything about where Justin Bieber came from, but Bella did name this Bieber, and we used to listen to Justin Bieber all the time. That's why Bieber all the time. That's why she came up with the name. But yeah, this is how he turned out. Now, I first colored him like a darker brown. He was like a planner design that I had a while back. I tried different shades of brown. Like this brown looks a little weird to me, but I had to do like 10 layers again of paint to get it the shade that it actually is like this. I don't know why I'm struggling with all this paint. Again, I'm just mapping out the design with this pencil, which is nice to do, but pretty much I'm like freehanding it, you know what I mean? So yeah, another layer of brown before I start doing all the other details. I even tried globbing it because I just got so tired of doing all the layers, but that's not a good idea, guys. Don't glob the paint. Same thing, struggles with the yellow. I just need to like have a list of colors that actually paint well opaque like this instead of transparent. Anyway, I struggled with the shading for him because I know you can see it right here. Like you can see the wet paint, which was hard because it kind of looked like the color of Justin Bieber. It didn't look like a different color until it dried, because it dried darker like how I wanted it. So but yeah, I'm really happy with the shading. Really happy. I'm just glad that I decided again last minute to add that on. I feel like sometimes like I do these changes last minute. It takes a lot of work because sometimes I do have to backtrack, but at the same time it's like it turns out better than I thought it would, and it's worth all the work and backtracking that I've had to do. But you know, it's part of the process, I guess. And just working on these more and more, hopefully I'll do better, especially with like the camera angles and like just talking with you guys and showing the whole process in general. I'll do better as I make these videos, so bear with me. More potato skins on the eyes. I removed this one too, but I do notice now compared to like the first and second bear, this one's already turning out better. Like I'm more confident with my paint strokes, and he already looks cute like that. Like he looks 2D right there to me. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys feel the same way too, just to talk about something. More scribbly bits, of course. My little tool broke, that's why you see me holding it like that. And then here's Claire stepping on a bee. She was checking out what I was working on, and I think it's really sweet when the kids look and try to see what I'm doing and see my progress. That red heart was horrible to paint as well, guys. The highlights are nice touch, you know. I was just trying to put more scribbly bits in the back there and trying not to overdo it. I'm really happy with how he turned out. Like he looks really good. See, he looks kind of matte here, and that's why I'm kind of like contemplating on which glaze to use. But yeah, I did use the glossy one in the end, and he still looks good either way. This is how he looks, like a shiny new toy. I like the shiny, but yeah, we'll see. And here's all three of them put together. Let me know in the comments down below which one you like. Thanks for checking out this video, and stay tuned for more bears to come, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.